History of the Wright brothers. These are some of the other pioneers of flight. Octave Chanute, longtime friend and advisor to the Wright. Chanute made an exhaustive study of the history of aeronautics and experimented with flying machines. There's an Air Force base in Illinois named after him. Otto Littenthal, a German engineer, made hundreds of gliders. Various apparatus employed bird-like wings, kind of like that one. His work on wing surfaces and air pressure proved valuable to the Wrights. He was fatally engineered in a glider accident. So the Wright brothers were actually had a bicycle shop in Ohio. If I go back to Ohio, maybe I'll try to find out where their home was. Okay, in order to make a flying machine, the Wrights had to solve three major problems. Lift, its wing surface would have to be designed would make the greatest advantage of the fact that air particles streaming across the upper and lower surfaces. The wing will keep it afloat. That's how birds just kind of glide. Problem two is power. Design a lightweight, high-powered engine along with efficient propellers and a transmission mechanism which would prove enough propulsion force to provide forward motion, lift the heavy machine and sustain that motion while in the air. Problem three, control. Because aircraft would operate in free air, it had to be controlled in three axes. Climb and descent, that's up and down, steering to the right or left, and then sideways balance. This challenge was to devise method and mechanism for which would enable the flyer to steer the flyer while simultaneously counteracting disturbing gust of wind and other conditions. So they came to Kitty Hawk because there's no place in Ohio that satisfied what they needed, because what they needed was a soft landing area. And the Outer Banks offered a sandy area for soft landings and gliding, slopes free of trees and shrubs. And then they needed a place that had wind. And the wind velocity, 10, 20 miles an hour, was favorable to their experience. So it's windy here most of the time. This is some of their experimentations with wings being flown as gliders and kites. Then they built this wind tunnel to study flight control over wings. And these are just some of the aerofoils tested by the Wrights in their wind tunnels. This is a replica of the Wright brothers wind tunnel, which is basically just a big fan. So this 1902, they got this glider, and this shows them flying it right here. Kind of got the hang of controlling the plane. And to 35-mile-an-hour winds, the record glides 622 feet in 26 seconds. Right turn, sliding cradle slightly to the right, pulls the trailing edge of the wing downward. And for a left turn, you basically do the opposite. And then we had to build a motor, and that's a design concept of what it would look like, and this is actually a piece of it. It's the original engine crankcase, 1903 Flyer. And here's some of Orville Wright's drawing tools, engineering book. And they come up with a system using the engine to turn propellers. And they kept diaries of what they're doing. There's the assembly line. I think these buildings are outside. I'm going to visit them here in a little bit. So on December 17th, 1903 is the day the first man flew. The first flight went 120 feet, lasted 12 seconds. Second flight went 175 feet, lasted about 12 seconds. Third flight went about 200 feet and lasted 15 seconds. And then the fourth flight went 852 feet and lasted almost a minute. And that all happened right here.